Hi, this is Madison Kisgia for my topics of the day. And today I'm actually going to do a video blog as opposed to writing about it because for some reason I felt this is much easier, much more fun to actually show you. Um, the topic of the day is coffee percolators. Um, what's a coffee percolator? Well, for the benefit of those of us who are from a different generation, including myself included, because when I first saw one of these, I didn't know what it was, and someone had to explain to me that this is how we made coffee before um, your auto drip coffee makers became popular, which was somewhere around the mid 1970s when I was born. Um, This is not a vintage coffee percolator. This is actually a brand new one. Believe it or not, they still make them. I got this one from Amazon.com, and it's by Presto, and it came pretty highly rated, and it wasn't expensive at all. Um, I forget how much I paid for it. I think it was about $30. But it's actually really nice. Um, Coffee percolators work a little different than auto drip because what you do is instead of passing hot water through a filter once like an auto drip does, coffee percolators suck up the water through, or the water expands as it heats through a tube, which is actually this device right here. It fits in a little heating element right there in the middle. And then there's this basket that you put your coffee in. There's a filter over it right now, but as you can see, it's just a coffee basket where you would put your coffee. I took the liberty of grinding my beans ahead of time, and so the tube sucks up the water, and then this is actually where the water goes back into the basket. It's hard to see, but these little divots have water, and the water sprinkles in here and mixes the coffee with the water, and then the water comes back, down through the tube, and then again and then the cycle repeats and repeats and repeats until the coffee gets darker and darker and darker. And it does what's called several extractions as opposed to a single extraction. That's just a fancy chemistry word for getting the coffee out of the coffee beans, or the coffee grounds, which is this. And it produces a very rich flavor. Some people don't like it. That's why auto drip makers became more popular, because it didn't extract so much of the coffee. Some people think it boils the coffee too much. Well, anyway, I got to taste coffee made from a real vintage percolator from circa 1970, whatever, maybe even before. My dad was moving his mother-in-law, or helping moving his mother-in-law into a nursing home. They sold her house. She had accumulated a lot of gadgets over the years, and one of them was her old percolator, which she doesn't use anymore. She doesn't drink coffee, um, and it still worked. That darn thing was older than I am, and I'm 38 years old. That thing is older than I am, and it made fabulous coffee. And so I decided, when my coffee maker, my traditional drip coffee maker, wasn't going to be working as well, I decided to get a percolator such as this. And my mom at first was, "Oh, those things make terrible coffee. You're not gonna, you're not gonna like coffee out of them." Well, I made coffee, and it was delicious. It was the way I believe coffee should be made, in my opinion. Not everyone shares that, but my mom tried some, and even she said, "Oh, this is really good coffee." So this Presto brand is actually quite good. Now, there is, it's hard to see, but what I like about it is it has these little these little markings inside that help you measure the amount of water, because it's really good to know how much. It makes up to 12 cups. It's really good to not have to eyeball the water. It's not immersible. It does, plug into the socket. There's a little plug doohickey there. And here is, excuse my mess here, this is all my daughter's sippy cups drying. This plugs into the outlet. Not rocket science, but that's how it works. And therefore it's not immersible, but it is very, but it's very easy to clean. It's all stainless steel, and but you do have to hand clean it. So what I do is when everything's all said and done, I let it cool off before I open it up, because sometimes this does get very hot when the coffee is ready. And when you open it up, you take the lid off right here. See, all of these are kind of spring loaded. There's a spring right here. It's kind of like a really hot scalding Jack in the Box. If you try and open it right away, I don't recommend it. Wait till it's cool. Take all the stuff out. Put it in a bowl of hot soapy water. Give it a little scrub. Doesn't take much. And voila, it's clean. And this particular model does come with a few coffee filters. Not many, but maybe 4 or 5, I want to say, at the most. So you may want to invest in special coffee filters for percolators. And, I'll demonstrate how to properly fold the coffee filters. It's really, really easy. Like I said, not rocket science. And you're going to put your coffee in there. You're going to fold this up. Like I said, I'll demonstrate. You're going to cover it with this thing on the top. This fits, this tube in the middle fits through this thing, which is inside, which you put into the heating element. You can see this little dark circle in the middle. And you cover this, plug this in, and in about maybe, 10 minutes. It takes a little while, but when this light comes on, you will have very, very good coffee. Very delicious coffee. So you've got my water ready, and you want to use cold water. Grind your beans, don't grind your beans, it's up to you. Obviously, coffee's way fresher if you take the time to grind your own beans. But if you don't, your coffee is not going to taste terrible, okay? So, I'm not much of a coffee snob. I keep pre-ground coffee in the kitchen all the time. So I will go ahead and go to the next segment, which is going to be adding the coffee to here and folding the coffee filter. Okay, thank you.